Just report on what has been happening in the news. Obviously, people know that Simpson's lumber site's being sold to Sierra Pacific, and had a chance to meet with Representative McEwen and Representative Griffey on Monday at 11:30 with Dave McAtee, who is the president of Simpson Lumber Company, and Lisa Perry and Mark Palicki with Sierra Pacific Industries, SPI, as they're also known. And I really, I think about this for a long time. I was born here in Shelton, but Simpson had been here 57 years before I was born. They've been here 125 years. That's a long, long time. So this is a big change. And but I had the opportunity a few years ago, and I'm trying to think what year it was, maybe about 2000 or 2002, to meet Red Emerson, the president of the family that owns Sierra Pacific, when they were building the new mill outside Aberdeen, just in Junction City, just this side. And they are a fantastic family. I can't think of a better, more knowledgeable family in the lumber industry to take over from Simpson. And they need some help with the transportation, with the left turn lane going into the property. They are absolutely focused on their mission of building a state-of-the-art mill here that is really a mill for framing lumber, consolidating the facility that they have, the Simpson has now at Mill 5 and up at the port. They will hire a tremendous amount of contractors. They'll build this equipment, sawmilling equipment themselves down in California. And I think the transition is very favorable and upbeat. I know that the Reed family's been here for a long, long time, and they've done a wonderful job of working with the community for so many years. You think about Grisdale and all the people that worked up there, all the national forest timber that was logged and the lowlands, and the combination of sustained yield agreement, the things that happened, and the people, because it was all about people here. And the people will stay, and a new operator will come in, and I think it'll be very, very positive. I think that they have all the best intentions, and I don't think we could have found or anyone could say that they are not will not be committed to our area. They have mills now in Burlington and Chehalis as well. So I'm looking forward to taking a look at the Chehalis mill and the operation. And so I'm very optimistic that this town will and community will grow together with Sierra Pacific Industries.
You know, I'm optimistic as well. I know that this is a very sad day for those who work there. But, we were told that they were going to be looking for a buyer, and I think it would have been even sadder had they not found one, and we would have seen a different use of that property, because obviously timber and lumber and forestry is the heritage of this community, and the idea of not even having that mill here is I hate to think about it. I also had a chance to meet with Mr. McAtee, and the amount of money that's going to need to be invested into that site to bring it, to modernize it, is a lot. And the fact that they do their own fabrication and it'll be a more modern facility creates opportunity. And I know that Lynn Longan has already been hard at work trying to identify how we can respond, both for the present workers and getting them reconnected and reemployed, as well as opportunities for training of a workforce, a skilled workforce in the mill industry, which is kind of aging out, like we're seeing in a lot of different ones. The chair down there, or the manager down at the Simpson plant was sharing the types of skills they cannot find. And so this is an opportunity for us to re-energize that skill set. I think in our, excuse me for saying this, our younger generation, the old saying that. And I don't know, Mr. Chair, if you'd like to hear from Ms. Longan regarding what she's already been at work at, but there'll be a lot of opportunity to respond in a positive manner to make this as good opportunity as we can.
You know, I agree that there's a lot of benefits that come with change, but at the same time, we can't lose sight of the things that we have to deal with and we're gonna have to deal with now. There's some serious implications that come with this, and a lot of jobs, a lot of people that are gonna have to figure a way to feed their family, and that is extremely important. Although when we focus on that, we cannot lose sight of our own jobs, our own things we must do, which is to try and help facilitate that transformation. Talk to the city, deal with this company, and try and make it as easy as possible for them to get where they need to go. That's actually our job and our responsibility as elected officials. So, you know, we don't want to focus on just the negative. We want to be happy with what we have, but again, I just hope we continue actually to be proactive in making things happen so that we can try and offset some of these jobs, because even though we're retraining them, it should be better to have jobs for them, and I hope that's what we do. Lynn, would you mind giving a brief update of what you've accomplished or what you're working with now so far? Please, yes.
Sure, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I didn't come with notes. I wasn't planning on giving an update, but I'm happy to do so. Lynn Longan, Mason County Economic Development Council, Executive Director. It's been a really busy day, few days. I was made aware of this over the weekend. I was made aware and had the opportunity also to meet with representatives from Sierra Pacific Industries yesterday, early morning. Today I've spent in Olympia with Pacific Mountain Workforce Development Council and representatives from Employment Security Department. I appreciate everything that you all said, and you're all right on. This is an opportunity for Mason County to have a company, a top-notch company such as Sierra Pacific Industries, join our community. And if we had to lose the Simpson lumber, this is the best scenario for us. On the other hand, we have to spend the time and we have to do due diligence to help those employees that are going to need help during this transition. It's devastating for them. And after meeting with a reporter today, after he went off air, I said, I'm just so nervous about making sure that we give the proper time to respond to the employees, and that we not go too quickly into how great it is to have Sierra Pacific, and that we spend the time to acknowledge that this is devastating. This is very devastating for our community. And when you add that with OPP, with Olympic Plywood Panel, I mean, I don't need to tell anyone, that's over 500 jobs to our community. It's a big deal. So I've had the governor's office on the phone with me, elected officials, federal congressmen have been contacting me. Everyone's contacting and saying, what can we do to help? So in that way, it's very good. So we can pull all that together. We're pulling together resources for the employees to meet their immediate needs and to do what we can to help that transition. Simpson's working alongside us and with us to make that happen, and they're putting some skin in the game. And then I see there's another thing that's happening, that the EDC is primed and ready to facilitate those discussions with the elected officials and with our local city and county commissioners and all of the top leadership in the community. So two different things going on: helping Sierra Pacific be successful, helping the employees transition, and doing everything that we can to help them not only to retrain, but to create jobs that they can go into. And that's going to be key through all this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Questions, commissioners?
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you, Lynn. Anything further on that subject? Commissioner?
I did ask Mr. McAtee, I said, so, obviously Green Diamond is a sister company or affiliate company of the Simpson family, but does that mean Simpson's gone? And his quick response to me was, gone in this community, was that we still own the tidelands out there, and we have work to do regarding creating the trail and making sure that we've got all the waterfront improvements that we've been contemplating, working with the city and with the port to do that. So there's some presence there, and I think that whole, I can't help but think that the retrofitting of that site along with this other work will help us do a wonderful job of honoring our logging legacy here in Mason County.
Yeah, I think it's, Mr. Chairman, I think it's important that people understand the difference between Green Diamond and Simpson Lumber Company. Simpson Lumber Company is transitioning to Sierra Pacific, but Green Diamond remains unchanged. They're the tree growing arm of the company, and of course own the Colonial House that stays with Green Diamond, a lot of the other amenities. So it'll be sorted out into the public, but I just didn't want any confusion out there with the public that the Green Diamond side has changed. No, it hasn't, as far as I understand.
And again, though, there's more things that we still have to think about. For example, on our plate, Mill 5 out there is a huge area that is going to be mothballed, it appears. This is a fantastic, this is an important loss of jobs, but it also is an opportunity for us to try and help find a way to make that profitable for them, to turn it into something else or to sell it. That is a huge piece of property with a railway right behind it, and which allows for other types of manufacturing if they decide they even want to do it. Because right now, I know they don't want competition in lumber, but maybe we can consider some of our long-range planning goals and working with the county and the port and stuff. Now might be the opportunity to pull that stuff forward so we can try and do something about it and be prepared for it. What's the old expression? The better term for luck is preparation. You can be offered a $100,000 house for $1,000, but if you got $500 in your pocket, you're still screwed. So we need to be prepared to take advantage of that opportunity by setting up our planning, making it beneficial, maybe less restrictive to build, and whatever it takes to be opportunistic there. I also recommend the same thing with the city, that they consider creating a zone where perhaps building restrictions are brought down to state standards, as you and I have discussed before. Maybe even the idea of bringing a shoreline plan for that particular zone down just to state standards only, and maybe we consider doing the same things. That would increase the value and the potential for it being built up and being built up quicker. So I'm just throwing that out for further discussion later. But
it does speak to the request from the Economic Development Council about the change of use in a non-conforming use piece of property, because I suspect that that's a non-conforming use out there, but it would not make sense to not allow it to stay in manufacturing.
Yeah, or something to allow it to be used in its best possible way by whoever wants to use it. I just want the jobs that we're going to get there, but perhaps we need to sit down and talk EDC, partnership EDC, Port, Port of Shelton, because they're losing the plant up here also within the city limits. In talking to them, best case scenario is they're able to lease it out, and with the ones they're looking at, that might create 25 jobs. That's still a huge loss, and perhaps if we're planning together with the city and the ports and the EDC on all this, we can start to bring in jobs, find out what we need to do to make that land usable for them, and then we still got to talk them into allowing it to be used for that. Because there's a lot of legs on this stool we got to work on.